Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Monday, December 19, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. And make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Los Angeles Rams vs Green Bay Packers. Much like the Los Angeles Rams, the Green Bay Packers haven't lived up to their preseason expectations, and they must win out to have a chance at making the playoffs in a weak NFC. Green Bay kept its postseason hopes alive with a 28-19 victory against the Chicago Bears 2 weeks ago, and now enter Monday Night Football with over 2 weeks of rest, which should be an advantage here. This time to prepare should help their offense get right, and we predict that they will be able to move the ball against the Los Angeles secondary. The Los Angeles Rams head into this matchup 4-9 this year. In their last contest, the Rams stepped onto the field against the Raiders and earned the victory with a final of 17-16. Cam Akers led the offense in rushing for the Rams with 12 totes for 42 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. Ben Skowronek held an average of 12.7 yards per reception by accounting for 89 yards on 7 receptions. Baker Mayfield went 22-35 with 230 yards passing and 1 TD. He had a quarterback rate of 91.4 and finished the contest with no picks. When it came to stopping the run, the Rams gave up 165 yards on 38 tries, which averages out to 4.3 yards per rush allowed. Los Angeles conceded 11 pass completions on 20 attempts for 137 yards and a completion percentage of 55.0%. In the game, they ran 61 plays for 282 yards. The Los Angeles Rams ran the football 22 different times and totaled 71 yards, which is an average of 3.2 yards per carry. The Rams allowed just 101.9 rushing yards per game, 5th in the NFL, but they give up 228.6 passing yards per contest, 21st in the NFL. And while Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked like his typical self, the veteran Packers QB should be able to perform better off the bye. Earlier this week, Rodgers said that his thumb and ribs were both feeling good after the bye, and we think he can keep the Packers' postseason hopes alive with a vintage effort at home against the Rams. The Packers step onto the field holding a record of 5-8 for this season. The last time they stepped on the football field, the Packers walked away with a victory by a final of 28-19 when they faced the Bears. A.J. Dillon carried the ball 18 times for 93 yards, finishing the game with 5.2 yards per carry for Green Bay. Allen Lazard was the best receiver for the Packers, grabbing 5 balls for 67 yards, 13.4 yards per catch. Aaron Rodgers, 1 TD, finished the game with 182 yards on 18 31st passing, while his QB rating was 85.7. He didn't throw any interceptions, and his average yards per pass attempt was 5.9 yards. Green Bay gave up 25 running attempts for 155 yards, 6.2 yards per rush. The Packers' pass defense conceded a completion rate of 80.0%, surrendering 254 yards on 20 for 25 through the air. The Packers ended up finishing with 357 yards on 63 plays, 5.7 yards per play. Green Bay rushed the ball for 5.5 yards per attempt, finishing with 175 yards on 32 carries. Baker Mayfield's first win as a Ram was a great story, but this team has still lost 6 of their last 7 games and holds a 2-8 record since their 2-1 start. The Packers need this win to stay alive for the wild card, so target Green Bay to win this one by at least a touchdown. Our first pick is Packers minus 6.5 points. The Rams are sitting in 16th in the NFL regarding team defense, giving up 22.8 ppg. The opposition is running for 4.0 yards per attempt on the ground and 101.9 rushing yards per contest over the course of this season. Over the course of this year, they have given up 1,325 rushing yards through 13 contests. In terms of yards via the pass, the Rams have conceded 2,972 yards, which puts them in 21st in the NFL. They are allowing 228.6 yards per outing via the pass, in addition to conceding a completion percentage of 67.8%. In total, they have allowed 330.5 yards contest, which has them sitting 13th in the NFL. They have granted 18 touchdowns via the pass and 8 touchdowns on the ground. Regarding their scoring prowess, the Packers rank 23rd in the league, maintaining an average of 20.2 points per game. During the season so far, the Packers have a total of 2,863 yards via the pass, along with holding an average of 220.2 throwing yards per contest, ranking them 16th out of all NFL teams. They hold an average of 125.4 rushing yards per game and have run for 1,630 yards overall. The Green Bay Packers are averaging 345.6 yards per contest, ranking them 15th in football. The Green Bay offense has compiled 562 yards of penalties on 73 violations, which is 18th in football in terms of giving up free yards. They have thrown 9 interceptions while conceding 8 fumbles, and they have been able to obtain 141 first downs. The Packers are giving up 23.2 points per game, ranking them 21st in the NFL. They have surrendered 18 touchdowns from the passing game, in addition to 192.9 yards per game, ranking them 5th in the NFL. Over the course of the season, they have allowed 302 total points. Green Bay has surrendered a total of 2,012 rushing yards, 154.8 yards per outing, and 15 touchdowns rushing for the season. The Packers' defense has participated in 786 plays, which is 6th in the NFL. They have totaled 15 turnovers, 5 fumbles recovered and 10 interceptions on the season. The market has been moving in the direction of an under all week, and for good reason. The Rams were trailing the Raiders for most of last Thursday's contest and had only posted 3 points for most of the game. However, Mayfield put together a pair of 2-minute touchdown drives in the fourth quarter that helped the Rams come back and win. Although it was great to see the former number 1 pick excel in a new environment, this may have inflated this week's total a bit. I don't foresee him replicating that performance in Green Bay against a defense that has shown an ability to contain mediocre quarterbacks. On the other side, while the Packers' offense does have multiple weeks to prepare, this Rams secondary is still solid enough to contain Christian Watson and this Green Bay passing game. Look for another low-scoring game in Lambeau.